Hello, peeping Toms and Tomettes. It's pretty funny. Hello, peeping Toms and Tinas. I want to thank you for pausing your body cam footage, whatever police brutality shit you were staying up watching late while high, to tune into your favorite surveillance state host. It's me, your resident eyes here, Palantir. We're monitoring your heart rate. We're following your little cousin going to school. We're going to put him in a bag because he said some things about the government that we don't quite like. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Company Lot. Yeah, that's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's video is all about doom. And I'm going to teach you all how to stop dooming. I'm going to teach you all to love everything you're hearing in the news. Children are being eaten. That's a good thing. Children are being eaten. That's a good thing, mate. That's wonderful. People's body parts are being put in a stew. That's wonderful for us. That's what we need more of, is people being put into a stew, mate. It's me, your resident here, contact at Palantir, and I'm here to let you know I've been watching you, mate. I know you're the peeping Tom. I know you're the peeping Tina. Well, guess what? I'm the OG of this shit. And I've been sitting in your seat the whole time. I've been looking at the data behind all of yous. I know all the pornography you're watching. I know everything about you guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of The Company Lot. Now, I say that intermittently, and if you don't watch the channel often, you're probably wondering, dude, what the fuck is The Company Lot? Allow me to give you all a soft reintroduction, okay? A gentle reintroduction. Because lately, your boy has been on one, right? I've been mixing it up. I've been doing little written commentary bits with 4% battery on the brain. I haven't done a loosey-goosey, straight-up, raw chat in a long time. And that's what this is. Everything I've been posting is technically The Company Lot, which is a show that you can get ad-free at teamstudios.tv. You can also get it wherever you listen to podcasts, mate. Yeah, I've been giving the show a bit of structure lately because, I don't know, I found some other topics that I wanted to be a bit more dialed about. And you know, but you know, I've I'm stuttering. Sorry, my Neuralink timed out. I had a latency on my Neuralink. You know, I'm feeling funny again, and I'm just gonna be real. Before I get into today's subject, I haven't been feeling too funny, because I've just been working like a dog. But Dad is feeling funny. Dad's feeling good. And I don't know. I just was feeling like getting loosey-goosey today. I know the news has you all feeling like, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Is there anything to laugh at? Because I think that's where media is at, right? Half of media is people putting fingers in their ears going, I'm laughing because that was really cringe. You know, it's just, you don't want to pay attention. You want to tune it all out. You want to pretend like everything's okay. You want to pretend that the mailman is still going to show up. You want to pretend like things are fine. And the other half of media is just the raw, unadulterated truth, which is uncomfortable. But the news that I'm really interested in today, and for today's video, is Seedance 2.0, which is supposedly the thing that is going to destroy Hollywood. If you look at YouTube, you just type in Seedance 2.0, the results are nothing short of sensational. Future style. Seedance 2.0 broke Hollywood in 24 hours. Seedance 2.0 claims the AI video throne. I spit everywhere on that one. Seedance 2.0 destroys every other AI model. And then there's the thing that I really want to get into, which is the army of Adam Sandler robots. And if you don't know what that means, let me take you back a bit. About a year ago, maybe a year and a half, there was this lovely, lovely piece of media that came out of the streamer known as Kai Cenat. And it was him beating up a little robot. They were kicking him, they were punching him. And then some months later, that same manufacturer put out that robot dressed as Adam Sandler, running around parks, looking like just a slightly overweight boy that got chosen last in PE with a cool personality. But now there's an army of these fuckers. And if you've been paying attention to Chinese robots, they're getting pretty good. They can kick and punch. They all have the Bruce Lee patch, and they're gonna kill us all. And they're also in downtown Austin, Texas. I don't know if you know that. Those ones are, because it's in Austin, it's just brutally lame. They just kind of run around downtown, giving you factoids about downtown Austin, Texas. But I digress. I want to go through and talk about a little bit the demonstration video that came out for this army of Adam Sandler robots because, I'm fascinated with the end of us, And today's video is me trying to give you the silver lining because that's what this is. If you needed a clear-cut definition of what this show is, I'll give it to you now. This is equivalent to standing around in the parking lot of a claim jumper. Okay, and you're talking shit, and you're clueless about the world. You don't have to be smart here. You can just have some semblance of a brain. You just got to be able to read a little bit, because the national reading level now is 6th grade, so you don't got to be too smart to watch this show. With that being said, let's get into it, folks. Let's talk about this video that has had every Hollywood elite falling to their knees. The writer of Deadpool, every major studio, they're all afraid of AI-generated video. And this recent AI-generated video from Seed 2.0, which is not some kind of, IVF program, is not, some... I'm going to kill myself. It has everyone very scared because it was 2 lines of prompting. A director put in 2 lines. And this is what he got. And this thing is all over local news, national news, and all the headlines are the same. This is the thing that's going to put its fist through Hollywood's chest and then its other hand through the small hole that's been created and rip Hollywood into 2 pieces. Is this right here. Now, I'm just curious for those watching, okay, because often I project my feelings onto you all, and this is an effort from me to try to get to know you better. Would anyone want to watch this? Truly. If I saw an ad for this film, Brad Pitt fights Tom Cruise, personally, I don't give a damn, if I'm being honest. And that's just between you and me. If I see a movie marketed that Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are going to punch each other, I don't even care what the reason is. I don't fucking care. I did not watch this and think this was the end of Hollywood. This is the same quality. What is that show? It's let me look up this show. It's about paramedics, okay? And there's a one where they have to asteroids are coming to the Earth, and the trailer is all of them. Here we go. The show is called 911, and there's this ad where it's the latest season, and they're all looking up to the sky, and there are asteroids coming to the Earth. So far, what I have seen from Seedance, I think I called it a Seed 2.0. I'm thinking of the roots. My bad. Seedance 2.0. Everything I've seen out of this AI model from people looks like boomer slop. It looks like film and TV that my father-in-law likes to watch, and that's okay. But I have not seen anything personally out of Seedance 2.0 creatively that makes me go, I want to look at that. Because I think at this point, it all kind of vaguely has that AI texture. Now, before I go too far into what my opinions are, because who gives a shit, honestly, let's talk a bit more about Seedance 2.0 as an AI model, because there is something more than its total destruction and absolute carnage that's going to wreak on Hollywood that is more interesting to me. And if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know I've read one book ever, and it's motivated all my interest in really the way all our behavior and everything we do gets ate up for software, right? I've also been pronouncing Seedance like there's 2 D's in it, but there's only one. And it's a small D that's been put right in the middle of it by none other than ByteDance. And if that sounds familiar, yes, it is the creators of TikTok. Now, what I love about Seedance 2.0 is that you can reasonably guess that this AI video model, which is going to destroy Hollywood, is photoreal, has all the power to subvert modern media, was more than likely trained on content from TikTok. Probably not all of it, but some of it. But every video that's ever been uploaded, whether ripped from a TV show or something you posted. You remember that video that went viral a while ago of that kid falling down the stairs, and it's just the dude filming it and laughing his ass off? That will make its way into a Seedance movie. Now, any person that's like, I'd like to craft a scene where a child falls down the stairs, they have the data for that. But then, you can add stuff like, add its head exploding at the end. I don't know. My point here is that more than likely a lot of this was trained on things that we have uploaded, whether from media that was created by a big studio or media that was created by us. And that is very amusing to me in that by the time, the sale of TikTok goes through, and allegedly the government is worried about all of us being tracked, all of our information being in the hands of a foreign entity, blah, 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 blah. ByteDance goes, cool. Thanks for the money. Go ahead. You can have the app. Do with that whatever you will, because we already have 7 years of human data to work off of. And we have 7 years of people uploading, gender reveals gone wrong, hands being blown off from fireworks. The amount of kids that have filmed their hands getting blown off on 4th of July? Now they can successfully make gore and giblets in Seedance 2.0 because of that. And that is, courtesy of the American people. Anything you can think of now is inside this new product, which everyone can now access if you're willing to pay, because it ain't free. And now you can make media to sort of poison the well. Now this app that was a social media that a bunch of people wanted to use, now it'll just be unusable and painful to look at. It almost feels like a clever way to devalue this thing that they sold for millions of dollars. They got the last laugh maybe. That's a bit of a reach. But now the big fear with this is that suddenly the power of making an Avengers film is now in the hands of someone with a 600-piece Funko Pop collection, and I understand being afraid of that. Now, like I mentioned, folks, this is technically a podcast, so I have to take a break to thank a couple sponsors today, starting with Factor. Cold days, big goals, no time to cook. Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, so eat well without the planning or cooking. Quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. Meals that fit your goals and schedule. Healthier eating, calorie management, more protein. My favorite is the creamy Parmesan chicken. They got 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, and ready to eat salads. Plus, the new Muscle Pro collection supports strength and recovery. It's always fresh, it's never frozen, ready in about 2 minutes, no prep, no stress. If I had needed this product, it's what I'd use. Head to factormeals.com/lot50off and use code lot50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan, one free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. We also want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this episode. You know, starting something new isn't just hard, it's terrifying. So much work goes into this thing that you're not entirely sure will work out, and it can be hard to make that leap of faith. It helps when you have a partner like Shopify on your side to help. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. Best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. And what if I get stuck? Well, Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support. And did I mention the iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. It also helps boost conversions, meaning less carts going abandoned and more sales for you. It's time to turn those what-ifs with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/companylot. Go to shopify.com/companylot. That's shopify.com/companylot. The other thing that nerds are very excited about, tech nerds are very excited about this idea that anyone can make a movie, and that, because in general, people on X and all the pro AI folks, they love the idea of no gatekeeping, even to being a girl. If you haven't seen my video, my last video, you can watch more how I talk about AI influencers, but they love that shit. They love that anyone can make a virtual girl. They love that shit. Oh my God, dude. Those dudes hate girls so bad. They love the idea that they can make a virtual girl who's hotter than a girl that maybe they could never pull. And they love the ability to try to make something that ruins an anonymous woman's life. They fucking love that shit. But on top of that, they also love that artists are worried about this. Basically, we are in this era where it's been just revenge of the nerds for decades straight, and these guys continue to cheer on this idea that filmmaking is no longer yours, it's ours. It's kind of like that, kind of bitchy rant I had about music, where the creator of Suno was like, I don't want to sit there and deal with the process of making music sometimes. I just want it. And it feels like you have these demanding children who are now very stoked about this fucking software, where now they can just have a movie. And this is the part where I feel like they show themselves. They show who they are, not in an evil sense, just kind of like in a nerdy sense, where they go, you can make a movie too. The reality is most people don't want to make a movie. That's why people pay to see them, because they actually don't care. That's why Marvel movies do so well. I would argue that the average person has other things in their life where they don't even grade film that difficult. They don't grade film in a way where it's like, it needs to be up to this standard. They don't give a fuck. They got other things going on in their life. They're getting their mind crushed by the 9 to 5. They don't give a shit if the film is good or not. They just want to turn off for a bit, But this idea that I've seen these guys champion on X, where everyone can make a movie, is really funny to me, because who the fuck wants to do that? Maybe you guys let me know. How many of you, if you're sitting on a Friday night, the same way when you sit there and you can barely get through choosing a fucking show on Netflix, how many of you have the reflex where you go, you know what? I would actually love to prompt my own film instead. Instead of choosing from one of the 15 libraries of hundreds of thousands of shit that I don't watch already, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll sit down at my laptop and prompt a film that's just for me. The only time that's being done is like people that want to make movies, which is not, I would say that's a minority of people, and when you're horny. that's all. That's what's going to come down to, is just dudes prompting photoreal Lola Bunny. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I've never thought of this before. And some of you actually have had this thought, so you were completing the sentence for me. I just said Lola Bunny, and you're like, Lola Bunny takes it from Monstar's team, something like that. That's on you. Has nothing to do with me. Speak for yourself, mate. Do your thing. To just illustrate how good Seedance is, look at this post. I gave Seedance 2.0 one photo, and it made me talk like a YouTuber, which is something that you should aspire to never sound like. I just want to make that very clear. You should never be excited that something can make you sound like a YouTuber. YouTuber tone is uncanny and frightening, and a dark reality that I hope none of you were to ever live. And that's just from me to you.
So, Seedance 2.0 just dropped, and you are all cooked. I'm talking multi-model, beat sync, one-shot continuous takes. This thing is insane. Kling, cooked. Sora, extra cooked. Runway, Pika, all of them done. Pack it up, boys. But real talk, the reference system is genuinely next level. I gave Seedance to a single photo of me sitting in my studio. Just one image. Then I added this prompt from DocSense on X. And look at that. The AI took my static photo and made me talk like a proper YouTuber too. Compare this to what AI could make just 1 year ago. Blurry, distorted faces that look like they were melting. This is a massive leap. But here's the catch. Look closely.
Seedance. Show me a 20v1. I want the 1 to be a tongue and the 20 to be various foods that are conscious and alive. Now, a big selling point of Seedance is anyone can make a film, in theory, right? So I just went to YouTube and I searched Seedance 2.0 short film. One of the first results is this film called Feral. Intense Seedance 2.0 trailer. Shit intense, bro. And I want you to watch this, but not for the reason that you might be thinking.
Oh, MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Over the past several weeks, a growing number of patients...
Did you catch that? Yeah, you heard that right. AI is very good at creating the Gen X thirst trap genre of music. I didn't know. Listen to this shit.
Oh, MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
I'm not going to lie, that sound is like nostalgic for me. It takes me back to maybe a more simpler time, 2022. Shit's weird, but wasn't all the way weird yet. You had Gen X dudes in shirts that were a little too tight, talking about don't let the alpha out. There might be a blade in the ice, but I'll keep licking, that type of shit. And just full of sexualized comments from, women in their 40s with American flags in their usernames. Don't tell my husband I'm in these comments, that type of stuff. Anyway, now, little jabs and quips aside, what is the big reason that I want to talk about this? Well, it does pose a big question about what it even means to post anything. Even as I make this right now, there is nothing stopping these big bad wolves from ingesting all this information and making everything about me, my mannerisms, the way I speak, how I do shit, available to some larger model. Now, what I think is really cool about all this is eventually everything you watch will not be a person. I think it's going to be really cool when it all comes from one company. And everything that you have ever done with your physical body has been put into an AI model because that's the goal. And then no one makes anything. And you just sit on your ass, and it's like this meme where you're just plugged in, and they harvest your blood, and then we actually turn into the Matrix. We're right there. Now, I know I said the point of this video is the try not to doom challenge. This is the whole point of this is to see the silver lining. And the silver lining is a couple things. One, now you know that this is the end of the world and there's nothing after this. So you got to see it. You got to see the end of humanity. That is cool. And on our way out, on the end of humanity, you get to have the last laugh knowing that people that you may have been jealous of who were hyper creative, really talented at what they do, it just got ate up by Facebook and made available to you. So you didn't have to go to art school. You have to go suffer on all those short film projects that some other creator had to do. You just got to sit back and wait. You just got to wait, and you're like, guess what, fucker? Now I can make your movie because it's all in a little box that I put words into, and all that hard work you put in, you're a fucking idiot. What do you have? Those good memories of making that shit? Guess what? I'm gonna have really good memories when I'm high on my couch prompting a movie that looks exactly like yours, and I have to do shit for it. Now, let me try to give an actual silver lining, if there was one. And I think it could be this. There's already so much shit on the internet that it is not humanly possible to watch all of it. If you go to YouTube right now and you search short film, I guarantee there are at least 100,000 short films on there that you've never seen or heard of in your life, but a small group of people knows that shit is awesome. I take a little bit of comfort in the fact that any, just stinky AI project that very well, more than likely, infringed on intellectual property is built off of the back of someone's actual hard work would go relatively unnoticed. Because I think when you're making media, a lot of media relevancy is it's very contextual to what is happening right now. So for sure, someone can make an AI film that is successful, and people might respect that project because the story itself is really smart, and the way this person used the tool was really interesting. But much like other things, that's sort of one in a million. Now, you could get on the other side and be angry because maybe that great film was made purely because someone had taste, but it took decades and decades of people actually making film to provide the data and the backbone for that film to be made. So I'd like to think anyone paying to make a stinky AI project, or an AI movie that is, likely built off of copywritten material, footage of actual human beings that actual humans filmed, I would like to believe that they would hit upload on that, and for the most part, it would just get 5,000 views, and it would go largely unnoticed. Now granted, that doesn't take into account all the people that are going to lose work because of AI. And really, it's just a countdown for all of us because we know what it is. They want to go in their bunkers, and they want us to all disappear. That's how they want to have it. But at least we can say we saw it, right? Isn't it funny that they get all up in arms about eat the rich, and they were eating the kids the whole time? Fuck. But speaking of what's going to annihilate us, let's get into the Adam Sandler army of robots. Now, I have to warn the audio listeners because there are a lot of them, surprisingly. This is a very visual show. This part, there's no way I can do this justice with video. I mean, what I am seeing and what the people at home are seeing, it cannot be described well. But, I could give it a shot. I could try to do the author thing here and paint you a picture. Matter of fact, let's go for it. Now, if you haven't seen this, let's start by showing you this frame. Looking at this frame, what are you feeling? Two robots, not all that impressive. But let's go a little deeper. You're seeing that right, folks. After decades and decades of research and investment in technology, they have finally reconstructed Yao Ming. It's incredible. Look at this guy. The fuck away from my house. Yeah, guys, we're looking at it. The precursor to World War III. Now, here's the thing. We are not anywhere near China. So, I don't mean that physically. But I mean in terms of technological advancement, at least maybe on this front. If we have robots, I've only ever seen the one from Boston Dynamics, the one that they're constantly kicking in the chest, and then the dog. I've seen, in America, we love our dogs. But I've never seen Boston Dynamics roll out a fleet of these fuckers. So if we have to fight, if we're going to war, there is going to be a period where it's going to be us versus these things. And these look easy to hit for now from far away, right? If you're getting into hand-to-hand with one of these, that's going to feel crazy. Like, think about getting punched by a vacuum cleaner. Think about a Dyson cordless just doing a 90-degree pivot in the air and hitting you clean across the chin, or maybe hitting you in the stomach or something like that repeatedly. Because we always pose the question, do you think you could fight 20 fifth graders, but could you fight 20 Dyson cordless vacuums? Because that's what it's going to feel like. Getting into the fisticuffs with one of these would be bad. Shooting it is easy, but if you're having a brawl with this isn't one of those mall security robots that's like a giant egg and you can tip it over. This thing will hit you in the face. You can't bite it. You can't pull its ears. You can't beat it to a pulp and it's sitting there crying, being like, please let me see my family. It's just going to keep swinging. This is going to feel like getting a PlayStation repeatedly broken over your head. The other part that's scary about these things is they're compact, dude. You know in Star Wars where the big truck rolls up, or even iRobot, and a big linen closet line just ejects itself and just drops like 20 robots. The same way that dude dropped 1,000 tadpoles into the ground in like 2023 era TikTok. That's the thing about these that's scary. Because that's what this is for. They're not, people are like, they're going to make it so you can have sex with it. That was just the beginning. This stuff is supposed to kill you. That's what this is. This is a weapon. When they roll out, 50,000 Kung Fu Adam Sandlers into the battlefield, and assuming America's where it's at, where all of our tech is being put into a stupid AI video. Because that's the difference, right? Every tech guy in San Francisco that could be working on a project like this, maybe something that advances mankind, or at least contends with the companies trying to do so, they're taking peptides, doing ketamine, and they're like, how can we make it so that people can prompt Sydney Sweeney the way they like her in their bedroom? How can we do that? That's what our tech people are focused on. And this is what China's focused on. Building an actual Wu-Tang out of robots that's designed to come and get us. I can't stop laughing at the idea of having to fight one of these, dude. Punching one of these is going to hurt, bro. This shit is drywall. You could stomp a Roomba. You could sock a Roomba. But I don't know, man. Socking 20 Roombas? Punching 50 PlayStations? Because that's what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like socking out 50 PlayStations. If you even get there, you can get 50 punches off. That's even me. That is so ambitious that I thought that anyone is throwing 50 punches at a robot. That's like peak UFC. It's like Max Holloway numbers. You ain't. No one's putting up 50 knucks against a fucking robot, dude. Right now, I think, if you need a silver lining, I think you don't have to be too afraid of these yet, because these guys don't have opposable thumbs. That's a big one. That's what makes us the apex predator. They're bipedal like us, but they don't have this yet, right? Because that's what you can kick it, and that thing is trying to fight you fingerless. That's like fighting someone who hits you with their wrists and their forearm. They don't know how a fist works. So, you might be able to use the opposable thumb and get some advantage. That thing tries to kick you. You can grab the leg, sweep it, whatever. Grab it by both of its angles and do the caveman head over the head slam. So for the next, 60 to 90 days that these things don't have thumbs, I think you can sleep peacefully. But once this shit gets thumbs, that's when it's over, dude. Yeah, right now, these fuckers they got the action figure hands. Don't even be weird. Don't be weird right now. They got these hands. They got these hands. You can slot some shit in there. I don't even think you can be like a pervert about this guy. I don't think that hand job would be very good, because it's very, they won't have that rhythm. It won't know you like you know you. It's going to be that kind of awkward. So in that sense, yeah, it will be like getting a hand job from your lady, because it'll be awkward and just not the right angle and just bad, just bad motion. No, JK. JK. Shout out to the ladies. You guys have evolved and advanced. You very much understand the rhythm in the ocean now. It's an incredible thing that, as who knew when the universe made us, that a core part of lady advancement, that's what I like to call it, LA, lady advancement, is learning how to, HJ from an awkward position. It's not something, I don't even think that's something that God intended. I don't think that's something that the universe intended for. I think that was a male demand, because we like to be fed. We need someone to be. I'm going to say it. But yeah, dude, these things don't have this yet, so I feel like we're okay. And that's the only silver lining I can really offer you. So again, that's probably about a 90-day silver lining. And then that's going to be the promo for this shit. Because they always do these crazy tech demos where it's like, it can run down the street. It can do kung fu. It can run up a wall. The next promo is going to be scary as hell. It's just going to be a gray backdrop, a silhouetted fist in the dark, and all it's going to do is this. And that's when you know shit's over. When a faceless robot is just going like this at you. Night, night. But just know this, guys, as we're over here freaking out, hey, they're putting Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in a movie that doesn't exist yet. They didn't ask the permission. This is what they're doing in China. Thanks for tuning into the company live, folks. I will see you on the next one. I've been debating going weekly. Y'all let me know. See you soon. Peace.